Hey everybody, welcome back. It's been a minute since I posted a video, so I just thought I'd show you the installed windshield with trim. I'll tell you a little bit about my struggles and successes. This is not a how-to video right now. This is an update on my progress. But I will show you how I installed the trim and where the process I've made so far. So in the last video, I showed you the windshield basically installed, and since then I've installed the top trim and the side trim. You installed the top trim first because the side trim goes over it. I did have mostly pretty good luck with it. I think it looks pretty good. Like, this line is great. There's an even gap. There is a little gap. I don't know, maybe some people get this gap super tight, but this is, I think, pretty good. And over here, everything's lining up, so I'm very happy about that. This side trim piece is held in with a few screws. I'm not sure exactly which ones you put in before you put in the weather stripping, but I'll get to that later. In case you don't know, these two end pieces are new. These are reproductions, but everything else here is the original trim. These are it's all the original. So yes, you know, there are a few little dents and things, and I probably put in some new ones installing it, but overall I'm very happy with the way this turned out. I cleaned them, polished it and everything. Let me draw your attention to the windshield itself for a second. This is not OEM look. I went with the gray. You can see here it has a little bit of a gray tint on the top. The OEM is more greenish. I like the clean look, so this does not have the greenish tint of the original glass. It also does not have the black all around the whole windshield. There's some windshields that have black all the way around. This one doesn't. So in case you're looking at windshields, let me show you what you're going to run into. What I ran into is the dam tape or dam foam is right along this line here. And so one thing I noticed is that when I put my witness marks, I used a marker, to mark the line to put the foam. I can still see that marker line, like right in here. Can you guys see right in here? See that line, that dark line? That's actually on the inside of the glass. So like it or not, if you have a line on your glass and you put your foam down, you don't erase the line, you're gonna see it obviously from the other side. I wasn't sure. I thought the tape, the dam tape would be under the trim, but it's not. And so therefore, I'm also glad that I painted the inside of the glass where the dam foam, block the edge of the dam foam, the outside edge of the dam foam. I painted all that with that UV blocking paint, because if you don't do that and you just put your urethane here, the UV light can degrade your urethane. So that's all protected. On the top, we don't see the dam foam or the dam tape, so that's okay, but we do see it on the sides, and of course on the bottom we don't see it because it is painted black all the way across. Let me show you what it looks like from the inside. So that's the tape right there, that's the foam, and I probably could have gotten it a little farther out, but it's basically right on the edge, and you can see there I got a nice squish of urethane. There was some pretty big gaps down here, so I made sure I add plenty of urethane, and I think that's fine. It kind of squished out a little, but of course all this will be covered, all that'll be covered with the dash, so that's fine. And the only hitch on this is that over here was a little problem area as far as getting the trim to sit down. And for some reason, it just seemed like this curve was too extreme. It didn't really want to go in there. So every time I would shove this end of the trim in, this would pop up a little bit. And if I shove this down here, then the trim would want to come out like this way, forward. So I don't know. Is it the corners? Is it the top? Is it the new header piece? Who knows? This is a lot of the frame here is aftermarket. The top and the sides are the corners, but this is the best I could do right now. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. It looks fine. I just have a little raised lip right in this area from about here to here. So there's a little raised lip there, which, you know, if I had to choose between a raised front lip and a lower front lip, I would go with the raised front lip. I also think I might have inadvertently mounted the windshield a little on the high side because I was so paranoid about getting it high enough. I think I maybe overdid it a tiny bit, but it's fine. The trim fits fine. You can see, and maybe I didn't get it too high because there's still even a little gap here on the top. So I'm, you know, being an amateur, the first time I've ever done this, I'm pretty happy with this. Again, you can see the line right there. That's from my marker. Now it doesn't look too bad. It actually kind of blends in with the foam, but I'm just saying there is a marker line now on the inside of the glass there, which you can see. So maybe over time that'll fade, you know, as this gets into the sun. But there's quite a bit of the urethane here that would be exposed. So the dam tape goes here, and this is all urethane up in here. So make sure that if you do this method and you have one of these windshields that's not doesn't have the black border around it, that you paint the back of your windshield with paint first, you know, before you do your urethane. Pretty happy with the way this came together. I mean, I still have to put some screws in and put the weather stripping, but I'm just showing you guys the trim right now. The back, you know, if you've watched the other videos, you know I had to move these holes over a little bit. Given the fact that I'm using a lot of aftermarket parts, the windshield, the header frame, the corners, a lot of these pieces, I'm very happy with the way this came together. I don't know about you guys, but I think it looks pretty good. Here's the front view. And I also did a lot of grinding and massaging on the frame before I even put the trim on. So I'm hoping this works out well. Like I said, I'm just a total amateur, first time doing this, but I'm happy with it. So I'm gonna call this good for now. I'm gonna move on and do other stuff, but I wanted to share that with you guys. If you have any questions, you can leave them, and either I or maybe someone else who knows more than I do will give you an answer. But I hope this has been helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.